Mark Medish.
There's no irony in my praise for the work of the present administration. I come from a strong bipartisan tradition in U.S. foreign policy, and I wish the Wall Street Journal editorial board would rediscover that part of the American heritage. On Iran policy, I just wanted to mention that Russia and Israel have both reaffirmed many times that they view each other as strategic allies. After Putin's visit to Tehran recently, he met with Ehud Olmert in Moscow, and the same statements and reassurances were made. And that gives me confidence that the Russians are not beyond the pale on this issue, but may in fact be part of the solution ultimately. It's a very difficult problem. Once again, I urge you to reject this motion. Rejecting it is not to defend Russia, and it's not to defend Mr. Putin's track record. The motion should be rejected because of core U.S. national security interests. This is a question about core interests, not about metaphors or metaphysics. The proposition is wrong on its face. Russia could not be our enemy again. This Russia has never been our enemy. We also should avoid Manichaeanism in our foreign policy. We have enough real enemies. Let's not imagine new ones. Like China, Russia is a very difficult counterpart and partner. It's not our enemy. Russia may be its own worst enemy, but that does not mean it's becoming ours. I urge you to reject the motion. Thank you.
Mark Medish, thank you very much. And finally, Michael Waller.
Thank you. Not even Al-Qaeda is building a nuclear missile system that can wipe out our entire country. And some of us want to turn a blind eye to those who are doing just that program, and they've budgeted out through the year 2015. Now, we've had great relations at times, or common interests at times, with the Bolsheviks, with our humanitarian programs after the Russian Civil War, with Stalin during World War II. We even offered him the Marshall Plan aid, with Brezhnev and Andropov, with trade and arms control, and with Gorbachev supporting glasnost and perestroika. So even at our worst parts of relations with the Soviet Union, we still, which was actually communist Russia, we still had common relations. It didn't take away the fact that they did want to destroy us. But I think the danger now is that anti-government regime propaganda in Russia is so dominant, where they have shut down the free press. They have shut down all of the radio stations in Russia that broadcast Radio Free Europe and Radio Liberty, that's U.S. broadcasting, except 3 or 4. So they've effectively silenced us. I believe they've silenced the BBC Russian broadcasts. And then they're propagandizing their children that we are the enemy, that Stalin was not a bad guy, that Russia should not be held accountable for the crimes of the communist past. So what the regime is teaching its children today tells us a lot about where that regime may be headed. It doesn't need to head that way. What we need to do is call them on it, as we would call a friend or a neighbor or a wayward relative or somebody else, and try to stop them from taking this path that they've chosen to take.
Michael Waller, thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to decide who carried the day. We can now announce the results of the vote that you cast at the beginning of the evening. And it's this: for the motion, 41%, against the motion, 23%, and undecided, 36%. After the debate, 47% of you were in favour of the motion, so a small rise, but 41% of you were against, which is a huge rise, and only 12% were undecided. So I declare the motion carried, but by a much smaller margin than at the beginning. So both sides have some laurels to rest on. So thanks very much.